My name is Mike Garlia.
And I'm Steve Jones.
When Steps, the Backstreet Boys and Westlife dominated the pop charts, we decided to write a script.
Based on our experiences as holiday entertainers.
It's sat in an attic for the last 16 years. How terrible is the writing? How awful will the acting be?
Only you can help us decide.
This is Bad Scripts.
Hello and welcome to episode 4. Mike, good to see you, man.
Lovely to hear you too, Steve. I'm looking forward to this reading. I think that we are now getting into the meat of the story.
Most certainly getting into the meat of the story. And should we just have a little recap of where we got to in episode 3? So
only if we can ignore my diabolical accents from the last one. Which, by the way, I can promise there will be more of in this episode.
So yeah, we've had quite a lot of feedback online about Mike's Scottish accent. And for those of you that don't know, Mike has lived in Scotland for the last 16 years. Yeah, that makes it that little bit worse, I think. Mike, just to recap then, we'll move on. Karen, the receptionist, was supposed to send out all the letters of acceptance to the camp coats that they decided from the auditions they were going to hire. And she's dropped the folders. They've gone on the floor and she just shuffled them back up in any old order. And so when we returned to the camp a week or two later, the camp coats have arrived. And it's I think the term
shambles.
A mixed bag?
A shambles, a mess.
I was going to say a mixed bag, but yeah, I think you're right. There's an eclectic mix of the cans and the can'ts. And the do's and the don'ts.
It was always going to happen. We introduced certain characters, we named them in certain ways in the audition scene, so they were always going to reappear, really, wasn't they?
Absolutely, and I think it makes it more interesting to have a little bit of the underdog element coming in there. If everybody was brilliant, then it'd be as much fun.
So we're picking up the story almost right where we left off, which was a discussion between Mark and Wayne talking about the good old days, and now we're into the main kick-off of our main characters all getting used to their new lifestyles.
Interior, the main venue, evening. It's disco time in the main venue. It's quite full of keen kids and families. All the camp coats are in the building. The camera pans round the room and stops at the dance floor. Dan is again trying to break dance, and is surrounded by lots of excited kids who are all cheering him on. Dan gets up off the floor and the kids all jump on him. He's trying to walk with them hanging off his arms and legs.
Camera pans out and closes up on Robin. Momentarily, a family approach him. All of them have ginger hair, and the mum and dad are wearing tracksuits and have very long greasy hair. Their 3 children, 1 boy and 2 girls, are no older than 10 and are wearing cheap t-shirts which say, "I love snogging and this bitch bites." They're all a little bit mucky.
We're all a little bit mucky, Mike. This is where we're introducing Robin, so Robin gets to meet them. Hello.
Hello.
My name's Robin. Are you having a good time?
We've been here 25 times.
Ah, great. You like it here then?
Oh yes, we love it. Yeah, well, she does, but not as good as it was before, though.
She fancies you. Oh, right.
Here, mate, do you want a shagger?
The dad slaps the boy around the back of the head.
Go and fucking sit down. The camp courts were better last year. You know, more friendlier.
We've only been open one day, though. How can you tell?
Well, you know, been coming here for years.
Oh, okay. I'll be back in a minute. Robin turns and walks quickly to Adam. The camera follows him. Oh my God, I think I've just met the Munsters.
Who's that then?
Them, over there. I'm telling you, them two are related, and I don't just mean by marriage.
I see you met the Freaky family. Bumped into them earlier. Let me guess. Did the youngest girl say she fancies you, and the lad said she wanted to, do you?
Yes, exactly that.
And then did the dad clout him round the back of the head?
I only thought people like that were in films and zoos. Ugh, I feel dirty. One of them touched me. I won't catch anything, will I?
I don't know. I saw them scratching earlier.
Oh my God. I'm going to be sick. Ugh, vile creatures.
Jesus.
What?
I don't believe it.
What? What?
Is that a rash?
Where? What rash?
On your face? Oh, mate, there seems to be some sort of breakout right under your cheeks.
Oh my God! Robin turns and runs away. Robin exits and the camera stays on Adam, who is laughing. He walks over to Sam.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, fine.
So, what are you doing after work? Are you going to the party?
Yeah, I think so. I don't want to go on my own, though.
Yeah, well, you can come with me if you like.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Adam.
See you around 12? As in midnight 12?
Yeah, perfect. Adam, in surprise, goes to react and is grabbed by a family.
Was that by a family or by the family?
Well, it says a family, and it could have been another family, we don't know. It's kind of ambiguous there. We haven't stated which it is. So I guess we'll never know.
Oh, we're also not indicating, by the way, in any way, shape or form, that lots of, families that, these kind of places, attractive families didn't wash or was very, I don't know how to put it.
I think what we did here was emphasise for comedic value some of the elements that we saw in certain guests when we were in these kind of roles, and we've exaggerated it a little bit and made it a little bit more that way. But there were people that did used to come 5, 6, 8, 10 times a year, had caravans on site and things, so you would regularly see them and you would get to know them. They would be coming to see you as soon as they arrived on site, and they were your best mate for the next week.
There's almost like bragging rights of I know these guys by name as well. Now, we never met a family like that, and we never met a family. At least I never met a family that actually spoke like that, especially 10-year-olds that would use that kind of language.
No.
I did spend my teenage years in Yorkshire, and I must admit that was not too far away from some of
the people you grew up around.
So there we go. We've met 3 characters: Adam, Sam, and Robin, along with a random family. We're going to a party.
Yeah, sounds like it's going to be fun. Do we think Adam maybe has designs on Sam? Sounds a little bit that way to me.
Oh, I think it's too early to say. I don't think we can make that judgment just yet.
We'll just have to stay tuned and see what happens. Interior staff chalet, late evening. The chalet is full of drunk staff. Most of the people are gathered around a single person who is drinking from a bucket. The crowd are all chanting, "Down in one! Down in one!" The person drops the bucket, spilling the drink all over him and everyone else. Camera pans in to reveal Dan holding the bucket. He cheers in victory, puts the bucket on his head, and collapses to the floor. Everyone else carries on dancing around him. Adam and Sam have just arrived.
You're going to make me do it, aren't you? You're going to make me try and attempt this. You're going to have to do
Kelly again. I think we need to hear your accent again as Kelly. From across the room, Kelly says,
"We're over here."
Adam and Sam acknowledge her and walk over, stepping over Dan's motionless body. "Hello. What happened to Dan? Someone bet him he couldn't drink 25 cans of lager in 3 minutes."
What, did he do it?
Nah.
Aye, we did nothing. We could.
He'll suffer in the morning. Kelly pulls a cigarette from her bag and gestures Donna to go outside with her. Adam notices Robin's face, which is red raw. What happened to your face? It looks really sore." Sam reaches to touch Robin's face. Nothing, it's fine. I've just washed.
With a Brillo pad?
No, I just scrubbed it a little hard. It's the only way to get a deep clean. Outside of Dan's chalet, Kelly is propped up against the window smoking. Donna is stood next to her. Dan's really drunk, isn't he?
Aye. What do you think of that, Adam? Do you think he's good looking?
I don't know.
I do. I think he's well fat.
I bet Dan will have a huge hangover in the morning.
I'll have him by the end of the week. Guaranteed.
Interior, Dan's chalet. Dan, now upright, walks over and pulls his arm around Adam. He is very drunk. "All right, guys." Without warning,
Dan keels over and throws up all over Robin and then passes out on the floor. Screaming, "Oh my God!" Robin runs yelling out of the door. The rest of the gang look on in bewilderment. So, we've been to the party. Seems like Kelly's got some designs on Adam then.
I think I'm probably more inclined to talk about Robin's germophobia that seems to be appearing here. He seems to have
scrubbed his face so hard that it's now red raw, and he's almost got the self-fulfilling prophecy where Adams jokingly said, "I think you've got a rash on your face," and now he's rubbed it so hard he does have a rash on his face.
Well, let me ask this question: art imitating life and all that. Have you ever thrown up on like literally physically thrown up on a human being before?
I've not thrown up, as far as I'm aware, directly on somebody, but we're not going to talk about your stag weekend and my throwing up, are we? Yeah. I think that would be...
Let's not talk about you being sick in a sock in a room full of about 15 different guys, and then taking the sock home and not telling your other half, who then pulls the sock out to put it in the wash and squeezes it.
No. She didn't squeeze it. She put her hand inside it to turn it inside out. And the 2-day-old cold sick that was at the bottom of the sock then coated her hand as she pulled it slowly from the woolen pit of despair. Not my finest hour,
definitely not. And the long-lasting truth to all of this is that was a long time ago, and the last time Steve actually drank alcohol.
The last time I got drunk, that was, and that may be 10 years ago. So it just goes to show you that vomiting to that degree can cause you to give up on alcohol.
And I guess we're talking about this to establish a sense of realism to that scene of Dan is down a bucket full of alcohol. They've only been open one day. They're having a party already, which I think is pretty reasonable given all these young people are in the same location, and thrown up all over poor Robin. So I would expect a theme of Robin getting himself into or just finding himself being the recipient of these particular situations. So let's just hope that's the only bodily fluids that ends up falling all over him.
Let's hope so. Interior bathroom, early morning. Dan is fast asleep in the bath. The rest of the gang sit around him talking. They're each taking it in turns to draw on his head with a black marker pen and a ruby red lipstick. I hope Robin is all right.
Oh, he'll be fine. I'm sure Mr. Death is scrubbing himself up right now. Robin Death? That's a strange name. Sorry, that was Kelly, by the way. I do realise that the Scottish accent is really, really weird.
You sound like David Walliams in Little Britain. I am and I'm not. It's very much that way.
Let's just carry on. Let's
carry on. It's not death. It's pronounced Diath. There's an apostrophe.
Diath? Do you think his family run a funeral parlour?
No, I think they're butchers, actually. The gang are interrupted by a loud knock and somebody shouting in the next room. Security! Everybody out!
The gang all struggle to get through the bathroom window, leaving Dan behind.
External, the beach, early morning. Adam and Sam come running into shot. They are both out of breath and giggling. They begin to walk slowly towards the water.
That was close.
Where'd Kelly and Donna go?
I'm not sure. I think they took off in the opposite direction.
God, I hope Dan is all right. Will he get into trouble?
I don't know. Probably a telling off.
I don't think he'll listen.
Probably not. So, what do you think about this place then?
It's different.
What did you do before you came here?
I worked in a supermarket.
Oh, right.
Adam sits down and invites Sam to join him. What about you?
Well, I worked for my dad for a while as a labourer. It's not what I wanted to do. I'm an actor.
Really? Have you done any TV or anything?
Yeah, I was an extra in the bill. I got to throw a stone at D.I. Burton. It was great, and that's when I realised I wanted to be on TV.
Oh, it sounds really good. I'd like to watch it.
I've got it on tape. I can lend you it if you want.
Oh, thanks. They both watch the sunrise.
Now, I read it as written, Why was Adam so unimpressed that Sam worked in a
I was
supermarket? His
I was gonna
response
ask
is
you the
actually
same.
offensive.
Because I think, I mean, when I read the words, I just thought him going, oh, okay. Yeah, just
Yeah,
like
no,
that,
it's
all right.
oh right. There's no. I mean,
right.
if you look at the word, it's oh right. There's no exclamation mark. Where you go, if there's an exclamation, you go, oh right.
Yeah,
there's
but,
not. It's just oh right. It's just so
Or
condescending.
it could have been, oh, right. Adam's not really a snob, is he? Because, I mean, he was saying he was a labourer with his dad and stuff. So it's not like he's come from a middle-class family or something that's looking down on someone that works in a supermarket. I mean, he's done manual jobs as well. So why do you think that is? Do you think it's because he expected that she was maybe something more? Or,
I don't know,
someone
really. I don't think he... Perhaps he's just not interested, or perhaps there's no follow-on questions to that. Mm-hmm. He's clearly from West Yorkshire. He's come from a council estate in West Yorkshire.
Has he now? That sounds familiar.
Yeah, and he's obviously very proud for having a walk-on show in the Bill. For those of you that don't know what this show is, the Bill was a very prominent, very famous police show that ran right through the kind of 80s into the mid-90s. Which was based around a bunch of police officers in London. And obviously Adam is very, very proud to have featured as an extra on this particular show.
Yeah, and if anybody hasn't seen it, then if you just look up some of the people that have been bit parts in the Bill, it is quite the line. It was quite the apprenticeship for actors back in the day. So I think Adam perhaps saw that as his step towards greatness, and almost it's a little bit of a come down for him now to be working at Camp Holidays.
Adam's not real, right? He's not real.
I'm bringing him to life. Do we not think that's his motivation? That's why he's not that impressed.
Does
that
sound like it?
Sun Hill Station.
That's the one, Sun Hill. Right. Well, I mean, is that a good icebreaker to talk to a girl on the beach?
What, telling her that you were in the Bill?
I
suppose it's worse.
And just shrugging off the fact that she worked in a supermarket.
This Adam's starting to sound like a real catch to me. It's the next day, and we're inside wardrobe. Daisy is sat at her desk sewing some costumes. Dan enters. We can only see his back, and he's wearing a cap covering most of his face. I've got a problem. Daisy looks up and laughs. It's not funny. The camera pans round to Dan's face. On it is the marker pen and lipstick stains. It's faded slightly, but still very visible.
What happened?
I don't know. I had a party and I must have crashed. And I woke up in the morning, I got all of this on me. I tried to wash it like 50 times and it won't come off.
Come here. Let's have a closer look.
Now, obviously,
Whoa.
Daisy has lost her Geordie accent at this point, so she's obviously just...
Was Daisy Geordie?
Yeah, do you not remember when you were regaling us with your wonderful Scottish accent that Daisy was YI-ing? But that's fine. Maybe Daisy's...
I don't know if I can... I can't extend. YI, don't be stupid. Now sit... No, that's worse.
The next day, Daisy is sat at her desk sewing some costumes. Dan enters. We can only see his back, and he's wearing a cap covering most of his face. I've got a problem. Daisy looks up and laughs. It's not funny. The camera pans round to Dan's face. On it is the marker pen and lipstick stains. It's faded slightly, but still very visible.
Why, what happened?
I don't know. I had a party and I must have crashed. And when I woke up this morning, I got all of this on my face. I tried to wash it like 50 times and it won't come off.
Why? Because you did it. Well, why? Come here then. Let's have a closer look.
Daisy examines Dan closely. He leans forward to give her a kiss. Daisy backs off. Oh, come on. You know you want it.
Hey, behave. It's going to take a couple of days to come. I'm sorry.
What's going on?
Okay, no. Do it again. Go on, give me the line.
Is this Geordie spent some time in Chennai as well? What's...
I have to say why in my head to try and get this connotation. Now, do it again.
You're not saying it in your head, you're actually saying it out loud. That's the scary thing.
Behave. It's going to take a couple of days to come off. Right, I'm going to do it like that.
Oh, come on. You know you want it.
Behave. It's going to take a couple... Right, hold on.
You sounded like the angry mum from Fireman Sam then. Oh, Sam!
Yes. Sam! Behave. Behave. That's going to take a couple of days to come off.
What if I get some terps?
And burn your face off, man. You'll have to wear some foundation.
What's that?
Makeup.
I'm not wearing no girly makeup. I'd rather burn me face off.
Now, don't be stupid, man. Now sit down and shut up.
Daisy pushes Dan onto the chair. Mike, we need to talk about that Geordie accent then. So I know I was reading Daisy last time, and my Geordie, which wasn't great, wasn't there? But because I tend to do Dan most of the time, you've courteously taken on the Daisy role for this scene.
This is extending my range beyond what I knew was possible. Look, at the end of the day, you led with Daisy, and all I had in my head was, why I? Because that's all you kept doing during the first one. So, and I wrote Daisy Geordie, and I thought, I can't do a Geordie accent. So the only way I could make it work was to make it quite shrill. Which I realise I sound Welsh, and also there's a theme. But you can tell the difference between the two, right?
Yeah, well, pretty much. I think at one point it sounded like a low-rent version of Biker Grove.
That's what I was going for. I sold it. I committed to the role.
Your spuggy was spot on.
Thank you. So that distracts us from the actual shocker of that scene. That's quite a shocking scene.
Dan has literally, without really knowing Daisy very well, this is his second day there. She's leant in to look at his face and see what's doing. He's gone straight in for a kiss. I wouldn't say aggressive, but he's quite forthright. Oh, you want to.
She does kind of shrug it off. She's just like, whatever. She doesn't. Well, she says the word behave, but then and then goes right back to the issue at hand, which is him with all this stuff on his face.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things when you look at it now, you say that is wholly inappropriate and completely unacceptable, and you should be, if you're forcing yourself to try and do something like that in a really uninvited manner now, you would never even entertain that person should be around. I think that,
that
we can make that clear.
To a question: would that scene be cut out in the next draft?
I don't think it should, because I think we're very much, this is of a time, so we're not making this now. We're making this 99, 2000, whenever, and I think that sort of thing could happen in extreme circumstances, and I'm sure a lot of women out there will agree that they have had to shrug off people and be dismissive and not make a big deal of something. And I think that was a very real thing that was almost a daily occurrence for some people. And whilst it wasn't the right thing, I think actually it represents what some people experienced. Could we say it's naivety on the part of Dan? Possibly that he's naive enough to believe that everybody wants to give him a kiss, and, he's a bit of a ladies' man. And he thinks, as we've seen when he's approached other people, he's very forward. Not necessarily aggressively so, but he thinks that everybody kind of is into that and he's the man. He calls himself Dan the man. Do we think that maybe he's probably just a little ill-educated on the ways of romance?
I don't know. I have a different view to you, actually, Steve, and it's rare you and I disagree about things, but I don't feel it moves the story along at all. I think we wrote it in for comedy purposes. This guy must be reeking of alcohol as well. He must be absolutely, awful. Not any, I don't think anyone would want to get close to his face for sure. To me, I don't know if it moves the story along. I don't know if it serves any purpose. And for me, and I've said in previous episodes how I feel about Dan, he's going to have to do something pretty good in this remaining story to turn that around, to actually show some redemption to his character. And I suspect that's where we're going with it.
Well, I guess we'll have to see. And it's one of those things. So we'll leave it up to you guys. If you think, what's your opinion on Dan? How do you feel about him as a character? Is he redeemable? Is he a bad boy? Is he misunderstood? it's kind of up to you to decide. So let us know. We've got the Facebook page, Twitter, or on Instagram. External dining hall, afternoon. People are sat at tables eating sandwiches. Dan appears and makes his way through the dining area towards Adam.
How you feeling, mate?
Dan turns around. I'm feeling bad. Proper bad. Dan is wearing lots of foundation. He looks even worse with the makeup on. Adam laughs.
Wow, mate. You look really bad. Are you wearing makeup?
If you tell anyone...
Calm down, mate. Calm down. Dan, your secret's safe with me.
Outdoor swimming pool. We see Robin, who is dressed as Moo the Cow, being led by Donna. They walk towards the pool and stop at a group of kids. Hello, guys. Who wants to meet Moo? All the kids run towards Moo. Okay, just one at a time. We don't want to frighten her. Kelly appears and walks towards Moo and Donna.
Hiya, you alright?
She looks at Donna.
Hey, did you hear about Dan?
No, what happened?
They got him in the office this morning. Gave him a right bollocking. He's on a verbal warning.
Already? Is he alright?
I think so. Just dented his pride.
As this is going on, they forget all about Moo the Cow and the kids start getting rough with her. The camera goes to Moo the Cow.
You're not real!
The kid punches Moo in the stomach. My dad said you're all puffs. My dad said you're all puffs. All the kids began to punch and kick Moo. As they punch and kick her, we can hear the moo sound coming from the head of the skin.
What?
Head of the skin? We're using the technical term for a costume. We should probably just replace that with costume from the head of the costume.
Fair enough.
The camera pans back to Kelly and Donna.
I've just seen him, and you want to see the state he's in. Max is calling him Danny LaRue.
Who's Max?
I don't know. Who is Max?
I don't know. Where's Max come from? I don't know. Maybe that's Mark.
I think it's Mark. I think it's Mark. We'll do it again.
Oh, amazing. We're just making up names now.
People, honestly, like we said, this is the first draft. We're reading it as it says. We'll try and make the corrections where we can. I think we must have gone.
It's calling.
I think we must have gone back and changed some of those. Right, I'll do that again.
You do it the right way this time. Okay.
Hey, do you not think my Scottish accent has definitely got
it
a
was
little
better.
bit better?
It was better.
It's getting better.
It wasn't brilliant. It was a bit more. It was more sort of Jeanette Cranky than anything. But yeah, it was all right.
Listen, don't look a moo horse in the mouth, okay? I've just seen him, and you want to see the state he's in. Mark is calling him Danny LaRue.
Oh, he was so drunk last night.
Yeah, speaking of last night, where did Sam and Adam get to?
The camera pans back to Moo the Cow. All the kids are still punching Moo. Moo is now on the edge of the pool, and before we know it, she loses her balance. Just before she falls in the water, we hear, "Oh my God!" And Moo falls in. All the kids cheer as Kelly and Donna jump round to see what's happened. They run to the pool. We then see inside of Moo's head, and it's slowly filling up with water. Robin begins to panic and tries to scream. So
we called it.
We called it. Poor old Robin again, just left in the background.
Poor Robin.
He really is getting the brunt of this stuff, isn't he? He's really the Norman Wisdom of this group. I think he's really struggling with this stuff.
Yeah, I think what the kids have just done is... I think what that scene was all about was just explaining what's happened behind the scenes with Dan's journey to get to wardrobe, and there's no smoke without fire, and he's got a disciplinary, and which is strange that he's been disciplined and then immediately goes into wardrobe and tries to cop off with the wardrobe assistant.
Unless that was afterwards. Do we know that he wasn't reprimanded for that activity as well, or do you feel like Daisy shrugged it off enough that she's not going to complain? It was just like, this is to be expected. You're a typical bloke.
Well, only the story can tell. But for any people out there listening to this that have ever done any costume performance, the children were terrors and as part of that, you are going to get beaten up. Just exactly as we described. All right, not to the point of falling in swimming pools, but you would always have a minder with you. You'd always have someone there. And if you go to any kind of place, any place in the world where they do characters, you'll always see the character and you'll see the person. And that person's there really to protect the character, because kids just can't help running up and start smacking the hell out of it.
In this instance, Kelly's definitely distracted Donna from that to have a good old gossip about what Dan's up to. And poor old Robin.
They are the B team. They are the B team. Robin's the A team, and these guys are the B team.
And so, that means that poor old Robin is in the wars again. Well, not knee deep, neck deep in water. Interior Mark's office. Later on in the day, we see Mark sat at his desk while Wayne is walking up and down the office. Wayne looks really angry and he's clearly not happy. They've been here less than a week, and already they've ruined a £5,000 skin. Been throwing parties, they've been late for work, and we caught Dan asleep in the toilets when he was meant to be on duty. The cheeky little sod even bought his own pillow.
Oh, come on. You did the same sort of things when you were a camp coat.
Yeah, but I never got caught.
Well, what do you want me to do? Fire them all?
Yes.
Look, I know they're not the best, but let's face it, they can't get any worse.
Can't they? Interior wardrobe. Daisy is sat at her desk, sticking glitter down. In the background, Robin is sat wrapped in blankets and towels. He is shivering profusely and is hugging a warm drink. Wayne enters, spots Moo dripping in the corner, and walks to the head, nudges it, and it makes a funny gargling noise. Wayne sighs. Can it be fixed?
It'll take a couple of days to dry properly. Sorry. It'll take a couple of days to be dried properly.
And what about Moo the Cow's party time? It's the first one, and Moo should be there.
Well, what do you want to do?
You're going up at the end of every sentence.
I have to. It's the only way I can do it. Sorry, I'll try. Well, what do you want to do?
What can we do?
If they had sent a spare like I'd originally asked, we'd be all right.
We'd be all right if that idiot hadn't been twatting around and jumped in the pool. I was pushed. It wasn't my fault. Robin begins to blubber. $5,000 is all going to come out of your wages. Robin cries louder.
Oh, stop it, pet. He's only teasing.
Oh, you always ruin my fun. Am I in really big trouble? If it were up to me, you'd be on the first train out. But luckily for you, it's not. You got a darts competition to compare in 15 minutes. You better get ready.
You're any fun in the staff room?
Robin gets up and sulkily leaves. Idiot.
I've got an idea.
Oh, Wayne, his usual charming self there?
Why am I getting all the hard accents? It's just kind of fallen that way in this recording. I seem to be getting both Scottish and Geordie, and I'm not good at either one of them.
I did offer I would have done that bit, but it's fine. There was a lot of days. There was a lot of Wayne and Robin in there, and they obviously. I'm trying to do both of those, so it's yes, it was fun. But yeah, Wayne comes down really hard on Robin. He's not really bothered about the circumstances surrounding why it's happened. He's just annoyed.
I think that's who Wayne is. I think that's who he is as a person. He wants accountability. He wants someone to be accountable for that. And I don't know why he's. I mean, technically speaking, he should really be talking to Donna and Kelly for distracting, but
they're not there, and they're not they're not easy targets either. I think Robin, he's been so downtrodden in the first 2 days he's been on site that that he's become an easy target.
Why was that? Was there some psychological thing at play here where Robin did this amazing audition and was seen as this brilliant dancer, and he's just getting all of these kind of, I suppose, these situations happening to him? He's the comedy foil, as we said earlier.
We're definitely looking forward to finding out what's going on. So maybe if we open it up to the listeners out there, what do you think is going to happen next? Drop us a line on Twitter or Instagram or even on our Facebook page. Give us a like and a share out there as well to spread the word about our little podcast. And let us know what you think's going to happen next. Until then, be happy out there, and we'll see you next time on
Bad Scripts.
Bad Scripts was written and performed by Mike Garlia and Steve Jones, a Beach Tide production.